Game one is in the books. Tennessee takes the first game of the series 11-1 tonight over Bowling Green. My name's Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel. Thank you for tuning in with me. Tennessee gets another run rule victory tonight, 11-1. They end it in the eighth inning. Colby Backus, base hit up the middle, ends the game tonight. But, a few different things to talk about tonight in this game. But, before we get into that, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Appreciate all your support moving forward. But let's get right into this thing. No need to beat around the bush about it. Just a nice showing tonight. I was actually kind of surprised they played this game tonight. Kind of seemed like it may have been a rainy type game, but moved the game up to 4:30. Game was played in full. And, Tennessee, again, like I said, again, they take care of business on my first talking point on it. I want to get to AJ Causey. It was kind of unknown coming in this game who would start. AJ Russell out tonight. I'm curious to know what's going on there. If it's still just kind of precautionary, what happened because he left the game early last week against Albany. And, Tony Vitello's not going to just come right out and say what's going on. But Causey started tonight, and, man, what a game he had tonight. 7 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts, 1 hit, 1 walk, 78 pitches in that time frame. So if you're a mathematician or whatever, that's just slightly over 11 pitches per inning. That's impressive. That is an impressive outing tonight. And where I think that leads Tennessee is hopefully Russell is good to go. And when he is, you may have answered your third starting pitcher, because I think that Sunday spot is still kind of meh. We don't know right now. But Seacrest did okay last week, couple innings. Sneed pitch come in for Seacrest last week. Sneed come in middle of the week in that game against High Point as well and kind of shut that one down. I said it from the get-go. I think Sneed fills this Chase Burns role. I think that's him. He's throwing right around 100, give or take. Kind of fits what they like out of that role. And, I think at first in the year, the way Tony Vitello talked, it would have been Aaron Combs. And it may still be Aaron Combs. And there may be nights it's Aaron Combs. I think ultimately Nate Sneed is your closer on this team. And the thing about AJ Causey, if you listen to my preview videos, he came from Jacksonville State. He was actually their Friday night guy last year. He's closed some for Jacksonville State in the past. Friday night guy last year. Had a lot of strikeouts. He had a high ERA, gave up some home runs. But what he's done so far, looking at him on the season, he is at 2 wins, 1 save, 21 2/3 innings pitched, 5 runs, 3 earned, 1.11 ERA. He's given up only 7 hits, 3 walks, 27 strikeouts. He's given up a triple. He's given up 2 home runs, and he's hit 1 batter. That's some pretty good numbers right there. You cannot sleep on it, especially the outing he put in tonight. Not a lot of pitches, especially for 7 innings of work, 9 strikeouts. He got the job done. So, if you're still looking for that third starter, I think there's a good possibility you have him. And Russell, if Russell's okay, Beam's gonna do Beam things. He's gonna give you a solid outing. And now Causey, you've got your 3 starters on that. And I don't see Russell starting Sunday. Maybe he does. I don't know. But I would expect he's out this weekend. And hopefully we'll see him next weekend when they play. I'm pretty sure next weekend's Illinois, actually. So they have Kansas State Tuesday. I can't remember who it is Wednesday, and then Illinois next weekend. They have more midweek before they get into SEC play in 2 weeks, actually, at Alabama. But, a nice night for Causey coming out, and then the other pitcher was Dylan Lloyd, freshman. He threw 1 inning. He had 1 strikeout, 13 pitches, 2 ground outs, and efficient outing. He got the job done. He's on the year for Dylan Lloyd. He's 1-0. He's thrown 4 innings. He's only given up 1 hit, 6 strikeouts. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive what he's done. And you got to think he continues to pitch like that. He's going to continue to earn a role on those weekends. This team has a lot of left-handed pitchers, and a guy I was high on coming in, I don't know if he's still in the doghouse or what his status is, Wyatt Evans. We've not even seen a sniff of Wyatt Evans yet. Last weekend, Kirby Cannell, first time back pitching for him. He threw 1/3 last weekend. He come in the other night against High Point in a pressure situation and got the job done. He had a pick off and he got him out of the inning. He did give up a run in that outing, but still he come in and it was a game where there were some instances where it was a little uncomfortable, but he come in and did his thing. You got Chris Stamos. Haven't heard anything about him. The way Tony Vitello talked earlier in the week, it wasn't much with him leaving the game, but again, it's kind of like Josh Heupel, Vitello. These guys, they're not going to totally tell you what's going on with these injuries. They're going to be as vague as possible. I don't blame them. They don't have to tell it. And there's probably protocols where they can only say so much in certain situations. I know a lot, especially if it's a head injury, they can't really say anything. Arm injury, I'm not for sure what their protocol is in that instance, but they'll tell us when it's needed to. I think in the meantime, unless you hear a guy's out for the year, they may rest them and get him in. It's kind of like they did with Dean Curley. He didn't play earlier in the week. He was back in the lineup tonight doing Dean Curley type things. So, I mean, what a pickup he is. And the funny thing is, coming in, they talked about Ariel Antigua had the leg up in the shortstop race. He got hurt, but Ariel Antigua's going to have a hard time getting his job back if he had the job, because he's playing. He is playing. Let's get right into the lineup. Talk about the pitching. I mean, 2 pitchers, very efficient, got the job done tonight. Fielding-wise, no errors. That was nice to see as well. Moore, he was 1 for 1 in his fielding. Burke had 9 putouts. Amick, his one play he got, he was able to get the out. Kavarsatiers played some good right field. He had a nice diving catch. Dylan Dreiling, with his one opportunity, took care of business. Dean Curley had his 2 plays, took care of business. Cal Stark did his thing. AJ Causey, as well. So this team, what I've liked too so far, they've been a very good fielding team. So their defense, they're playing defense, they're hitting. Now, is this SEC competition? No, but you still have to do the basic things to be a good baseball team, and that's what they're doing. Look at the lineup tonight. A lot of good things I liked. Christian Moore, 1 for 3, 2 runs, 1 walk. He did have 1 strikeout, so he's at 395 on the year. He had a bad game the other night against High Point. Not a 1 for 3 tonight. I mean, it's 333 for an in-game average. Extremely respectable there. Hunter Hyde pinch hit later on, 0 for 1 with a ground out. Blake Burke, 2 for 4, hit an opposite field home run again tonight. 3 RBIs, 2 runs. He did have 1 strikeout. I never saw a replay on that. I really didn't think in real time that he went around, but I didn't see it either. But Blake Burke right now is looking at 325. I mean, you think about how he started those first couple games. It was rough. And, I was concerned about him. But it's also, I knew it's 1 weekend. This guy's got talent. I mean, he's going to be going to the major leagues after this season. There's a reason for that. And what I like, another opposite field home run for him tonight. Both of his home runs this year have been opposite fields. We've yet to see that monster home run for him. And you guys that listen to baseball shows, you've heard me say it. I'm still predicting he hits 500 feet this year. That may be a little bit ambitious, a little bit crazy, but the way this guy kills the ball, you got to think another offseason in the weight room, another year bulking up in that program. And Tennessee's got to have one of, if not the best strength and conditioning programs in the whole country with Coach Q, as they call him. I still think it's possible. I still think you're going to see that Blake Burke bomb that you're going to wonder days later if it's landed yet or not. But so Burke had another good night. Billy Amick, Ethan Payne come in. How about old Ethan Payne? Come in, got a hit, won it back, got an RBI. I don't know when I remember the last time Ethan Payne's gotten a hit. So cool to see with him. Guy's a senior in this program. Come in, he made it 10-1, and then Backus come behind him, pitch hit for Billy Amick, and ended that game with a nice base hit up middle. Billy Amick tonight, 2 for 2, 2 runs, 3 RBIs, 2 home runs, 1 walk, 1 sack fly. What a night for him, man. What an efficient night. And that gets his average up to 375 now. Well-deserved. It was down to 200s last weekend, and this guy's hit so many hard balls. And, I made the comment to my wife while I was watching. I was like, man, Clemson really had to screw something up for this guy to get gone. But then I thought also, well, maybe Tennessee did too with letting Chase Burns get to Wake Forest. So I guess it's the state of college baseball. Guys want to do what they want to do. Billy Amick last year at Clemson didn't play the field a lot. I think he played maybe some first base when Caden Grice pitched, but he wanted a full-time spot. He's third baseman at Tennessee. He's going to be the third baseman this year as long as he's healthy. And then he'll go to the major league draft after this season. What a pickup he's been, man. This dude is a stud. He is actually, they call him Billy Barrels. He should actually be Billy Badass. I know they're not going to call him that. He is a bad dude. He really is. I cannot wait when they get into conference to see what this guy's going to do. It's going down the line here. I mentioned Backus pinch hit 1-for-1. He had a hit and an RBI that ended the game on run roll. Kavaris Tears 1-for-3, one hit. He did have one strikeout. He had a sac fly. So Kavaris Tears for the year is hitting 438 right now. That's impressive. And like I said, I mentioned earlier, had a nice diving catch from right field. This dude he's playing some ball this year. Robin Villeneuve started as the DH. He went 0-for-2. He had one strikeout, a hit by pitch tonight. So Villeneuve, it hurt his average a lot tonight. He's now down to 450 for the year. So this guy's still raking. Dalton Bargo pinch hit. It's kind of surprised Bargo wasn't in, especially after the week he had last week. So he went 0-for-1 with a strikeout. Dylan Dreiling 1-for-4, had a strikeout. Dreiling's a guy, man, he's hitting 278. His averages continue to go down and down. I think he's going to have to hit a streak. I think with him, with Hunter Ensley, these guys, they didn't play Cannon Peebles tonight. He didn't even play in this game. It's probably just a night off for him. I suspect he'll catch tomorrow night, maybe even Sunday. But if you're Dylan Dreiling and Hunter Ensley, I think your two spots are on the line right now. I really do. I think if Dalton Bargo continues to do what he's done last week, Villeneuve is going to be in the lineup. You can bank on that one. Dreiling and Ensley, they're going to have to bring it, or I think they're in danger of losing their spots. I really do. Dreiling, like I said, 1-for-4 tonight. Dean Curley, 1-for-2, 1 run, 2 RBIs. He had a home run. He had a walk. He had a sac fly as well. Efficient night for him. For him on the year, he's at 375. Pretty impressive what he's doing right now, especially for a true freshman. He is he's at 4 home runs, so he's second on the team. Billy Amick leads the team with 8, and then Tears and Curley is at 4 pieces. You got to think Curley didn't even play the first weekend either. Cal Stark back in the line at night to catch it. You know what you're getting out of Cal Stark. 0-for-3 tonight, 2 strikeouts. His average on the year is .077. He's not in for his bat. He just isn't. Is what it is. Charlie Taylor come in pinch hit. He was hit by a pitch. He scored a run. Hunter Ensley played tonight. He started in center. He's 0-for-2 with a run, a walk. Hunter Ensley's average on the year 182. He's doing himself no favors. Reese Chapman come in later on for him, went 0-for-0. He was hit by a pitch. He scored a run on it as well. I really think the way it's going right now, you're odd man out. If things keep the way they are, it's going to be Dreiling, Ensley, and Chapman. That looked to be 3 of your 4 outfielders coming into the year. They don't step it up, they're going to be out. They just start because you've got to get Villeneuve in. Your nights, there's not going to be many nights you could keep Cannon Peebles out of the lineup either. It's a lot of good problems to have, but in the same instance, some of these guys like Ensley, Dreiling, when Chapman gets his opportunity, I'm already seeing Chapman. I'm not seeing it out of him. I'm just not. Dreiling and Ensley's going to have to step their games up if they want to stay in these lineups because there's a lot of studs out there. That top 4, especially with Burke hitting, if there's a better top 4 in the nation, I want to see it. And I'm sure there's some good top 4s, but this one's got to rank up there. I love it. I love Moore, Burke, Amick, Tears, the way they're hitting. And Villeneuve, that top 5, if there's a better top 5 in all college baseball, I want to see it because that's an impressive feat. But Tennessee takes care of business 11-1. Moving forward, I'll do post-game recaps the rest of the weekend. Basketball, other than that, man, you guys that were in there, you drove that You drove that live show. We went over an hour. Most views in House of Orange history in this brief 2-month history, as we're approaching our first video or post live with 1,000 views. May not sound like a lot to others. To me, that's pretty awesome. We were consistently in that 30 to 40 range, not quite 40, but there was a group of you, man. You were driving that chat. You were awesome of that. You were supportive. You had good messages driving that thing. We're going live again tomorrow night, right after that Alabama game. Immediately after this, I'm going to record a preview of tomorrow night, kind of touch upon that first game and what's going on tomorrow night. What's on the line is we know a lot's on the line tomorrow night. But Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Like, share, subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. And as always, go Tennessee Vols.